It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Yes, I'm here. It is showtime, the Geno Jones Showtime. Bam! Bam! I'm coming to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay, programming note. There's going on the King holiday, which is Monday. This coming Monday, January 20th, I'm in two King Day parades. One early in the morning, well, not that early, like 10 a.m.-ish. Then another one in the afternoon. It's going to start about 3 o'clock. So my intention is to do a very special live edition. However, I am the radio station, so in the daytime, if you've been watching the show, if you live here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, folks all the way up to Myrtle Beach, to even some parts of Savannah, Orangeburg, which is about a good 45 minutes away. Anyway, so my radio station show, or the radio show I do in a day, the station is involved in two MLK Martin Luther King holiday day parades. Yesterday, Dr. King would have been 96. But we celebrate his birthday the third Monday in January, this year, January 20th. So we're going to acknowledge that. There's something else that's happening on that day, but that's really, we're not going to focus on that. I'm just trying to figure out because a lot I wanted to say. We're going to celebrate Dr. King's life and his work. And at the end of his life, he was really merging racial justice and economic justice. Because I'm paraphrasing, you can't have true social justice and racial. You can't have complete racial justice without economic justice. That's a whole different conversation. But now here we are in 2025, and for specifically Black America and the culture, but not just Black folks. You know, even though they may not realize it yet. You know, some of our Hispanic brothers and sisters, even though a lot of the Hispanic men had voted against their own interests, and millions of poor and working class white Americans with MAGA hats and flags are going to realize that it was a con all along, and this whole construct of race was a con to go digging in your pockets. But for our culture and our community, as Black Americans or Black people in general, we've never waited on anyone to save us. But America has made it clear. So the mantra on this show is for us, by us. That was a company started, Brother Damon John and some other brothers out of New York City, a clothing and apparel company. At FUBU, it's an acronym. Four letters. Each letter represents a word. FUBU, F-U-B-U, F-U-B-U, for us, by us. And the mantra on the Geno Jones Show is that we are all we got. It is clear now, we are all we got. But here's the great news. We are all we need. When we come together, when you have an open hand, and if you try to punch with an open hand, you could break your fingers. But when you bring those fingers together and close that hand, there's power in that hand that forms a fist. And collectively, that is what we have to even do on a greater level. Because there are many, many, many individuals, peoples, organizations, nonprofit organizations that have been doing this kind of work really for us, by us, that's been pouring in the community, making sure that they were all we need, that when the community needed something, the community had a place to come. So part of my job, along with informing, enlightening, inspiring, and entertaining you, is to make sure that this platform celebrates, highlights, shines the spotlight, and introduces to the world people and organizations that are doing that work on so many different levels, individually and collectively. And two of those it's an organization and a business. They are sponsors of the Geno Jones Show, City Vibes Bar and Lounge, ultimate night spot here. But they are all very community oriented, always pouring back and giving into the community. 9730 Dorchester Road, one of the sponsors of the Geno Jones Show. As a matter of fact, pretty soon they'll be opening for lunch. Shout out to Corey and Kenya Williams, the owners, 9730 Dorchester Road. So if you want some great music, great food, great drink, that's jumping off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all weekend. Then Sunday they have a great brunch. And one of the preeminent, Google that, look it up. One of the preeminent, that means that one of the outstanding, one of the top nonprofit organizations, not just here in the Low Country, as we call it, in the Charleston, South Carolina metro, not just here in the state of South Carolina, not just in the Carolinas, not just on the East Coast, but in America, is one of the proud sponsors of the show, the Crate Group, and their CEO, Mr. Kendrick Bannister. You know, many of us who know him well, he's family, refer to him, I call him Al. I call him Brother Al. He is the CEO of the Crate Group, and they have been pouring into the community and helping people of all backgrounds. What they have and continue to center our culture and our community and our young people, but also our elderly people and people of all ages. But they have been really centering our youth for about 3 decades. And they have this incredible event coming up pretty soon called the Gullah Harambe. So shout out to the Crate Group. And without any further delay, ladies and gentlemen, that is my smooth transition. He is part of the Geno Jones Show family. He is part of the Geno Jones family personally. You've seen him on the show. He's one of the proud sponsors. And I thank God for bringing people like this into my life. And I'm honored to be able to bring him into your life so he can share what his organization has been doing. And he's done it before. And what's coming up, this incredible event called the Gullah Harambe. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Mr. Kendrick Bannister. Brother Al, repping the house.
What's up? Hey, what's up, Geno? What's up?
Repping the house. Shout out to Morehouse.
All the time. Hey, all the time, baby, all the time. Just got back in from Atlanta. Just got baby girl down to Spelman Monday. So she's back in and she's nestled in and ready for the semester, man. So I'm back in the truck.
So listen, man, for those who may be relatively new to the show, you get new viewers every day, so I never assume anything. If you don't mind, why don't you just give us a little brief backstory and origin story about the Crate Group, because like you've heard me say, you guys have been doing incredible work, especially with your leadership and the great team you've got around you. So if you don't mind, share the origin story and then go right into the Gullah Harambe event that's going to be spectacular that's coming up.
Awesome, man. So first of all, thank you for having me. Mother Geno, hello up in Chicago. Forever praying on your behalf and praying with you. Thank you for the blessing of Geno being in the Low Country with us.
Well, you done really made her day now, so you her other son now.
Hey, Geno, let her know how much we talked about her doing the gala, man. So yeah. her edge had to be burning, so that was beautiful. But no, seriously, the Crate is creating atmosphere through excellence. 30 years plus, we just been digging and pouring into the community, one child, one family, one district, one community, one state at a time. And up to date, man, we've been doing great. So we call ourselves the hub of all tangible resources that a family would need to be successful or to become. Now, when I say become, that means become anything. Become, educated, become safe, become mentally aware. We've partnered with a lot of people, the South Carolina Department of Mental Health, South Carolina Commission of Minority Affairs, and the list goes on and on. So we also partner with other nonprofits Everyone Voice Matters, Diversity Alliance Group. So things of that nature is not about us. It's about making sure that the people get everything that they need. So that's the crate. That's the nutshell and bolts about the crate, and that's what we've been doing thus far. Coming up right now, we have Gullah Harambe. Gullah Harambe is a concept that I came up with last year, and we had a very successful year last year. We had about 1,400 people from across the world that came through. A 2-day event. This year it's a 3-day event. Our goal is in the next 5 years to make it a week-long festivity of nothing but loving up intentionally on Black America. You know, here's our truth. A lot of our history has been torn away, burned away, thrown away. So whatever we have to do now to preserve everything else, we got to do what we got to do. And I'm a little radical, so I don't believe in asking for permission. I believe in just doing what I got to do and keep it moving.
Come on, say
And
it.
that's what we're doing. So last year we were able to give out a state proclamation to the 1955 Cannon Street All Stars for the things that was unjustly done to them, which was, you have to think, man, these guys they're 80 plus now, and they never got an apology when they was 12 and 13.
Right. And for
So
those,
this,
Kendrick, for those watching around the country, around the world, so these were a group of, like you said, 12-year-olds, maybe 11, maybe between 10 and 12, young Black men who had a legendary Little League baseball team. And they had like the best team in America, but they were denied the opportunity to play in the Little League World Series in 1955 because they were an all-Black team. But every team
correct.
they played, they dusted. They beat the brakes off of them. And
Correct.
so your organization honored these men, and I had the honor to meet them last year because it's like an unsung story. I think, isn't there a movie coming out or a doc? I think it's like almost like a biopic about their life coming out in the future.
Disney is doing a movie, and they the movie production came down to Charleston and did everything, and we did like a little dinner with them. And I am happy to say that Denzel may play my part. He may play my part. I'm telling you, it doesn't get any better.
Well, you cast it well. You did a great casting there, buddy.
But no, they really have some high-powered celebrity actors in this, so it'll be airing this summer, and we're supposed to actually go to Hollywood for the premiere, so that's exciting.
Great, man.
You know, to be part of that.
Are they going to release it? It's going to be released in theaters around the country, or is it going to be released like on Netflix or a documentary?
Right now, they're actually trying to go to theaters first, and then go to Netflix and so forth.
Okay.
But well, Disney, it's on the Disney Channel, so whoever runs Disney now.
So finish. You were talking about Gullah Harambe. Now, so the event is coming up. It's coming up pretty soon. So give us the dates and give people all the other information about exactly where it's going to be and how they can learn more. And if they want to attend, is it open for vendors? Or you still have any openings for those who may want to be vendors or be sponsors for the event?
Yes, definitely. We always want sponsors. And at the end, I'll make sure I put my contact information on there. Okay. We're looking for vendors. So one of the key things, Geno, most vendors within the Gullah culture, they only get the chance to work during Black History Month and Juneteenth.
Yeah.
So what Gullah Harambe does is bring these vendors together, and we have a compiled list of vendors, and we're now able to go across the whole state throughout the year, and they're able to sell. So their bottom line profit margins have grown tremendously. But then also that helps when we go to the other parts of the state, because now it's bringing in economic advantages for them. So hotels are doing things, restaurants are selling. So there's like a little influx of a bloom there. So technically, like you said earlier, we all we got, but we all we need. We just have to unite and do it. And that's what Gullah Harambe is doing. Harambe means together. Um, so it's February 6th, 7th, and 8th this year. February 6th, there's a new restaurant called Nola's. That's Nigel Drayton. That's his brand. So we bonded with him, and we're doing a poetry slam there. It's already packed out. I mean, we got some keynote poets going to be there, freedom speech, uh, nice, great food. So it's gonna be a great night. And then February the 7th, we have Dr. Crawford from Claflin University. He just got a big grant to preserve the Gullah Geechee narrative. And then he'll come and do a dinner and conversation with people. And it goes back from the ancestral passage all the way up to date. And then when we leave there, there's a free concert that I give, a free gospel concert. And it's going to highlight the likes of some local artists, plus the amazing Claflin Gospel Choir. It's normally about 300-400 people that's in attendance, but it's free. And we asking all churches and the organizations, anybody in the Low Country that want to be there, all you gotta do is just walk through the door. On that Saturday, we open back up from 10 to 4. It's a empowerment symposium. We have everything for heirs property. I have lawyers there talking about heirs property, investment banking, insurance, wills, trusts, mental health, anything that you need in your family to be successful, it'll be there. But now the great thing is this year, we've been blessed. We're given a state proclamation to the 1969 nurses boycott of MUSC. So I heard you in your monologue, you talked about the King family and so forth. So we're really close of getting Bernice King here. That's the daughter of Martin and Coretta, because Coretta was the intricate person. She was the head, the figurehead that spearheaded this boycott. So it'll be awesome to be able to give, Senator Tedder is writing a letter, a personal letter to the King family on behalf of South Carolina and that boycott. So it'd be awesome just to hand that to the family member.
That'd be awesome.
And then the other thing is we have the family. I had a phone call today from the great niece, follow what I said now, the great niece of a Maud E. Collin. So Maud E. Collin was a midwife in the 1920s. She was literally like the first doctor, nurse, practitioner, everything for, Black America. So the way I looked at it when I did my research, how can I honor the 1969 nurses without honoring the person who even got them to be nurses?
I love that.
So we go all the way back to the root cause analysis. So talking to the family members today when they called, man, they're just elated just to be here. Senator Tedder is also writing a letter on behalf of Maud E. Collin for her family. Now, she did get recognized while she was living, but still yet, we want these younger generations to be relevant and understand what our ancestors had did for us so we can do what we're doing now.
And Al, I can't stress enough.
That's
No, I was just saying, I can't stress enough just to piggyback on that point you were making. It's so important that it's going to be up to us to make sure that we teach our kids and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and all children in the community their history. Because we know folks are trying to ban history and ban books and all of that foolishness, but we have to record our history. Like, sit down, talk to your parents, your young people, my Gen Zs, the millennials and Gen Alphas. You got these damn $1,000, $1,500 cell phones. Put them to good use. Sit down and have a conversation with the matriarch or the patriarch to your big mom, your mother, your grandmother, your mom, your dad, and because they lived through some of the things that we see trying to come back now. They lived through seeing water fountains that they couldn't drink from. They said white only, colored only, not being able to sit in the back of the bus. Just some of the things that that they had to experience, and they survived it. And allowed us and made sacrifices so we could do great things that we're doing now. So it's so important, Al, to make sure that we pass that history on and that we document our own history. Because if you don't document it, people will erase it and they'll rewrite it the way they want to write it, and it won't be the truth. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. Real quick, for those who are watching around the country, just kind of give people a simple explanation. The Gullah culture, the Gullah Geechee culture here in the Carolinas, because I hear people asking me about it that know that I live here. If you could just kind of, in a simple explanation, what exactly what the Gullah Geechee culture is and how it came about and why it was so important to our ancestors.
Awesome. So Gullah Geechee was normally on the coastline as far as the water bearing. So when everybody came over from Africa, that's pretty much where they was let out at. And I'm gonna use my family for example. And I know some of the Northerners be like, wow. So my family came in and we went to an area called Colleton County. Give or take, I'm in Charleston right now, so an hour and a half away from here. So they got off in the ships downtown on the water. They went through the Edisto River, all the way up to the muddy banks of Colleton County. Well, my great-great-great-grandfather, his name was Allen Spells. He came from Spells Plantation, period. It is what it is. So what my original name would have been before that, we don't know, because it took on, quote unquote, the owner's name.
Yes.
Well, Allen Spells, in 1865, when they did the emancipation and so forth, in Colleton County, they didn't get it for another 2 years. So they were still in slavery. That was right across the river.
So
Dorchester County.
So wait a minute, because I didn't know that. So basically, what happened in Texas, which is how Juneteenth Day came around, that actually also happened. And I've been here 20 years, Al, and that's the first time I heard that story. Wow.
That's the true story. So my great-great-grandfather, so what they used to call it was coming down the Edisto River, the black people would try to escape and get away. So they would try to go through the night and swim through the river. The other people would be on the banks trying to shoot them out the river. True story, man. So when my grandfather got up, and that is where our homestead is right now. Like my family on that land to this day. And from there, my great-great-grandfather brought determination, he brought will, he brought hope. He was inspired. So from that point, that built us. And we go on and on and on from that point. So I come from Spells Plantation. You Google Spells Plantation, it'll be a big old plantation house.
Wow.
That's where we come from, by way of Africa. So that's where the Gullah Geechee come from as far as the dialect. And so let's talk about the dialect. A lot of people, when they talk to a Charlestonian, they would say, man, you sound like you're from Jamaica. You sound like you're from the island. Well, we all, as you migrate further north, it changes. So every black person, everybody has melanin in their body, has Gullah Geechee origination as far as DNA in them. That's where they come from.
And like you said, it's a language that our ancestors really adapted. So basically, the colonizers and the people that oppressed them didn't necessarily understand what they were saying. And a lot of part of the culture is the food, because our ancestors were brought here from West Africa because they knew how to grow crops. Because the colonizers came over here, didn't know how to grow crops.
Correct.
So it's like a holistic approach, language, food, music, art, and your event celebrates all that again. So give us those dates. It's almost like a week-long celebration. The Harambe occurs over 3 days, 4 days?
It's a 3-day event now.
Okay.
Our goal is to make it a week long. So this is our second year. We was able to add an extra day this year. Next year we hope to add more.
Great.
And I'm just excited for the people that's accepted. I was blessed to be at the uh, the legislative meeting the other day. I had an invite to go to the Chamber of Commerce legislative meeting last week, and a whole lot of people that didn't look like me was in there, and they all knew what the crate was. They understood Gullah Harambe, and you would be surprised how many of them want to truly preserve the culture because they don't have a culture.
Come on.
They don't have one.
Say that again. Say that they don't have a culture, which
They
is
don't have
why
one.
you got so many people that want to kind of destroy and get rid of our culture because they don't have culture.
So that's facts.
You said a mouthful there. So once again, the events are going to be at different locations here throughout the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. So let everybody know exactly where they can go on social media, where they can get all the information. And the beautiful thing, like Mr. Bannister, Brother Al said, that all of this is coming to you free. There's no charge. So that's courtesy of the Crate Group. So if you want to be a sponsor, if you want to volunteer information about vendors, or if you just want to get like an itinerary of what's going on for the 3 days, let everybody know where they can go and get that information.
Definitely, you can go to social media on Facebook. You can check Bannister, or you can do the Crate. And they definitely give us a call at 843-900-7904. We do have a code out there that has everything, and we've been more than happy to do whatever we got to do to get you there.
So, because you were breaking up. So once again, he said the Crate Group. If you're on Facebook, there's a page for the Crate Group. Kendrick Bannister, he's got his own Facebook page. You can go there and get all the information.
Thank you.
All right, Brother Bannister. My mother said hello. You were right. She's watching. She said, "Tell Al he's doing a great job teaching young people about the Gullah culture." So there you go.
Much love, much love.
All right, fam. Hey, man, listen. I love you, brother. I appreciate you. And like I said, I thank God for bringing us together as family. So we'll be talking about this. So what's the first day of Gullah Harambe?
First day is Thursday, February the 6th. It'll be at Nola's Restaurant. It's a poetry slam. It's free. Second day is February 7th at the Low Country Conference Inn at the Hilton in Somerville, South Carolina. It's free. And then the last day on that Saturday is free. And we're asking all nurses to come out at 12 o'clock so they can be in the audience when we present this to. And there's 4 nurses still living from the 1969 boycott.
Right. And now, Al, where do you want the nurses to come and what day?
On February 8th at 12 o'clock, I would be honored if they come to the Low Country Conference Center. That's the Hilton Garden Inn in Somerville in Nexton, 406 Sigma Drive. They could come in, have a seat, and sit back and watch who fought for them for what they're doing right now today.
Is that a Saturday? That day, is that a Friday or Saturday? What day is that?
That's a Saturday. February 8th is Saturday.
Ironically, my mother is a retired nurse. She's
wow.
Nursing on every level, hospitals. She had her own nurses registry, in-home care toward the end of her career. She would go be like an in-home care nurse that would come in if you had an elderly or infirmed a person or parent. She would come in for the weekend. Sometimes she may be there for 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks. So she's done nursing on every level. So nurses are very, as far as I'm concerned, if the closest things to angels, like real angels in the flesh, are nurses, because it takes a special person to be able to care for somebody and to give them hope in their most desperate and dire times and situations. So nurses are very, very special, very special. So I'm so glad that you're going to honor them. That's going to be great. Kendrick Bannister, everybody, CEO of the Crate Group. one of the proud sponsors of the Geno Jones Show. All right, I love you, family. So we will be running it back. February 8th is the first day, but definitely we'll have you and your team back on the show a couple days or a week before the event, so we can, because I know how you roll and get down. So I'm sure there's probably some other surprises, big names that you're already in the lab. You're like, all right, G, we got so and so coming on. So, your final itinerary, you can share that with everybody. Send my love to your queen and my nieces and nephews, and tell them Uncle Geno loves them, and I'm proud of them. And the new grandkids, congratulations on 2 new grandbabies within the last 6 months. Yeah.
In the last month.
Last month, that's right. Yeah, the last month.
Yeah.
So
I got one to be Chase to be a month old on Friday, and I had one born on Monday. So
wow.
Blessings, man. Blessings.
So you give the name Big Papa a whole new meaning. No doubt.
I love it. I love it.
All right, love you, Brother Bannister. We'll talk soon.
Hey, blessings. Be back.
All right. That's a good dude right there. That's my guy. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Let me get out of here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Chicago, 3:30 p.m. live in Los Angeles. Now, programming note. So Monday's the King holiday. I am scheduled to be in 2 King Day parades, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So my intention was to do a very special King holiday edition of the Geno Jones Show, but because of my commitment here in the community and my radio show, the station where my radio show is, it's a huge event here. We're the #1 station, and we have a huge presence in the community and the culture. So we'll be part of the celebration. So there'll probably be no live show on Monday, so I can work that thing out. But if not, Tuesday is going to be a very special celebration. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, so it'll probably be 2. I'll break it up into 2 parts. So I'll kind of have a special monologue just talking about, the King holiday and where we are in 2020. Dr. King was born. His birthday was yesterday on the 15th. On Wednesday, he would have been 96. So shout out to the Crate Group, proud sponsors of the Geno Jones Show here, and City Vibes Bar and Lounge, 9730 Dorchester Road. You can follow City Vibes and get all the information about their hours and the menu. Check out the food menu and the drink menu and a list of all the huge theme events they got coming up, part of the King holiday weekend. Follow City Vibes, V like Victor, I, B like Barry, ES, City Vibes on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Shout out to Mark Hill Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. Check him out on Instagram, IG. KLB Cutting Up. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the show. You can check Allie and her Lexi Jones collection out on Instagram or IG, LX.NCL_LX.NCN like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, underscores that little dash. Shout out to Bruce Gage, also a contributor, wardrobe consultant, stylist for the show. The shirt you see, it's not a jacket, it's actually a shirt. Leather shirt, part of the Mario Uomo collection, Miglio di Mario Uomo on Instagram, on IG, MIGLIODIMARIOUOMO, Mario Uomo. The Uomo's got the W, like W-O sound, but it's the U, it's an Italian surname. Or just type in Bruce Gage or Mario Uomo, UOMO on Instagram, and Bruce Gage on Facebook. I love you. Thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you live Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Hello, Chicago. Me and you, Friday, 5:30, live in Los Angeles. Let's continue to share and shed light, love, positive vibes, and our prayers to the those that have lost so much lives, property, businesses, memories of those victims and survivors of the fires out in Los Angeles. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.